guys? I am super tired and it is very early right now because if you couldn't already tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be neutering Winston today. He is super excited for his surgery. He's right down there all waking up. This is probably the earliest I've been up in a long time. It's currently 7 a.m. so we got to go ahead and drop off our boy very soon to the vet. I just went ahead and prepped his carrier, which is right here. And we've got a fresh new pig mat right in there as well to keep him super cozy. We also have all of his veggies because they need veggies when you bring him to the vet, so they have something to snack on after they're done surgery. And then they also supply the hay, which is really nice. So this is just kind of a little intro to Winston's whole neuter vlog. So I hope you guys really enjoy. I'm still waking up, so I'm probably gonna talk to you guys after I go ahead and actually drop him off. So that way I get some breakfast in my system and I just wake up a little bit more. But yeah, today is the day. Here is our little boy Winston. It is your day, buddy. You are getting neutered. The big N, as you can tell. He does this because he's stressed out. He wants to be out of his cage. He needs some friends. So that is the reason why we are doing this today. If you guys don't remember, I tried to get him neuter months ago and my vet had actually discovered he had a URI. So when he went under the anesthesia and was like knocked out, his breathing was really crackly. So thankfully my vet caught that. But yeah, it's been months from that situation. He got his full round of antibiotics and he's doing much better. So hopefully this time again, when he goes under, he'll be totally fine. But as you can tell, he is anticipating coming out of his cage. We're going, buddy. We're going very soon. I'm also gonna clean his cage so it's nice and clean for him post-neuter. It's really important to make sure everything's really nicely sanitized and clean. They're gonna do staples, that's what they did for vision. So I would assume they'll probably just, do the same protocol and do the surgery through the abdomen as well, just because there's less complications that way. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab him because I'm sure he's wanting to get out right now. I just started my car as well, because it is cold out. There is so much frost on the ground, so I wanted to make sure that Winston was nice and toasty and warm while we take our little commute to the vet. Thankfully, it's not too far. It's literally only like 10 minutes away. So that's the luxury of having an exotics vet that's really close to me. But are you ready, buddy? Yes, I'm sure you are. Everyone's anticipating this, buddy. You're like the star of the pig room. All right, you ready, bud? It's your big day today. I feel like I'm sending you off to school. This way. I know. There we go. Good boy. Nope, we gotta go in there. He's not a huge fan of the carrier because it's so small, but it'll only be a short commute. He's okay. Alrighty, there's Mr. Winston. And we are on our way to the vet. All right, guys, we just pulled up. I just gave them a call, so they're gonna be calling me back very soon to get us all checked in. So funny because this is probably the calmest I've ever seen Winston. He's usually like wired, and the whole entire car ride, he has been as still as a rock, still as a statue. Typically he'll like be going crazy and I'll like open this up a little bit so we can kind of peek his head out, but for some reason he is calm today, or probably just in fear for whatever reason. He's literally just in the corner right there. Today's your big day. Do you want to come out and say hi to everyone? I'm sure he does. Winston's like, what is this space? Hi. Are we gonna get neutered, buddy? I think we are. By the time I see you next time, you're not gonna have your little man parts. But it's all for the better. It is, because you're gonna be with some lady friends and you're gonna have lots of fun. If Caroline lets you, that is the deciding factor, if she gets along with you or not. My beautiful boy. I should probably make sure my phone's on loud, so that way I can actually hear them if they call. But as I mentioned to you guys before, I have his veggies, so I just have like 3 leaves of green leaf lettuce and then also some bell pepper in there, just for him to snack on post-surgery when he's out. Just to make sure, obviously, he's eating stuff to get his system, going after he's been under. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole protocol. I will be sure to update you guys throughout the process, how things go when they call me back. For anyone that is stopping by my channel for the first time, hi, my name is Austin. I own 17 guinea pigs. They are such a huge passion of mine and also my full-time job, not only as an owner, but also because the pig room is a business that I own. We make all kinds of handmade items. We make liners, pig mats, pee pads, tunnels, bunk beds, treats, all kinds of things. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out the stuff that we offer, my website is linked down below. I am having a restock on a lot of items, probably in the next 2 weeks or week and a half by the time that this video is posted. I'll actually pop it up on the screen so you guys know when that date is. But yeah, this is Winston. He is one of my most craziest pigs ever. He's an escape artist. He loves to get out of his cage, hence why he's fully enclosed in his cage with all the grids. He cannot have any open spaces because he will climb over them. He's an explorer, he's social, he's friendly. He wants to say hi to all the rest of the pigs. He loves free roam time. He just cannot calm down, except for in this moment right now because he's very scared. But I got you, buddy. Yes. He's so beautiful. I love him so much. As I mentioned earlier, this is actually his second round of trying to get a neuter, so hopefully it actually happens. Thankfully, I got one of my boys neutered, which was Vision, and that all worked out. But now it is his turn because he's all cleared of his URI, thankfully. And it's actually funny enough because when he went through his antibiotics for his URI, before that, like when he was a baby and up until that point when it was discovered, I never heard him weak. I always noticed that he could not weak, and it wasn't until after he finished all of his antibiotics for his URI when he could weak. So I think that played a huge part in him being allowed to finally use his voice and really yelling at me for veggies and stuff like that. Isn't that right, mister? But yeah, here he is right here. He's a good boy. I'll show you guys a little close-up so you can see him better. He's just one beautiful pig. I love him to death. But I'm gonna put him back in his little carrier because I'm sure he's anticipating wanting to go back in. I do have some hay in there as well so we can kind of munch on something while we're just waiting for them. It's so freaking cold out, you guys. It's like ridiculous. I woke up this morning and there's like literal snow on the ground. Not actually, but it's like frost. So I had to start my car like 10 to 15 minutes before I actually jumped into it because it was frosty. I could not see anything on my windshields. But yeah. That's it, guys. I will talk with you guys once I drop him off and we'll clean his cage, even though I literally just cleaned his cage the other day. So maybe I won't have to change his liner. I might have to just do the pig mats, which will be a lot easier for me. I'll probably just actually flip the liner, even though it is pretty fresh, but I'll just flip it just to make sure. Add some new pee pads, pig mats, all kinds of stuff, and then we'll be good to go. Alrighty guys, I'll talk to you soon. Alrighty guys, so I just got back. I went ahead and picked up Winston from the vet. Everything went amazing. I ended up actually running some errands when I got home after dropping him off. I was going to record actually cleaning his cage, but I didn't end up having time to do so. So the cage is now all fully clean. It is now time to go ahead and put Winston inside of it. He is right in here. Surgery again went amazing. He is just very, very scared right now. Obviously this is his first time really being under anesthesia, like for a long period. Well, not long period of time, but like for the first time it was like a couple seconds, and then now it's like, you know, 10 or 20 minutes. So he's like, what the heck's going on? But everything is okay. The vet said he did amazing. He was popcorning and eating as soon as he woke up, so that is really great to hear. I do have medication for him, which I'll go over with you guys in case anyone's kind of curious about kind of the aftercare when it comes to neutering guinea pigs. But let's go ahead and put him in because I'm sure he wants to go inside his home. Buddy. So as you guys can see, there he is right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab him as carefully as I can, just to make sure I don't kind of really interrupt his stitches or anything like that. I'm sure he's gonna be very calm right now with me, which is actually a good thing. That way I can kind of handle him a little bit easier. Here he is, and here is his stitches, which actually look really good, even better than Vision's. Here's our little boy. You're so calm right now, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and put him inside of his cage. I'm gonna do this very gently because I do not want him to, you know, risk tearing them or whatnot. So he just darted straight into there because again, he's just very confused with what's going on, and he was handled by obviously a couple new people that he doesn't know. But here is his cage right here, all nice and fresh. I am using the same liner as before, but all of the pig mats and pee pads are all fresh and new. Everything's nice and clean, so that way his incision doesn't get infected. He's got his little tunnel there, wooden house, his bridge, and a few toys with his hay, and also a full water bottle as well. So he did get some medication, which I'll go over quickly so you guys can kind of know the whole protocol again when it comes to taking care of guinea pigs post-neuter. Okay, so he is on 4 medications, which I will go ahead and read off to you guys. I know that all vets don't do this. There's some vets out there that don't give out any medications, but for my particular vet, they always give medication after neuters. So the medication that he's on is, can't even pronounce that correctly. The handwriting is confusing. I'll just read it from the bottles directly. This is enrofloxacin, cisapride, which is an appetite stimulant, just to make sure he's eating. Meloxicam, and then also, which one's this? Oh, this is one I can't pronounce. Bupropion. They also sent me home with some critical care. I do have some of this already, but you can never have enough of it. So that is the medication that he's going to be on for the next 2 weeks. His staple removal is scheduled on the 19th, so 2 weeks from today. And after those 2 weeks, everything should be healed. I have to start 3 of the medications tonight, and then in the morning, I'm gonna be introducing the meloxicam. He'll be on a total of 4 medications, so I'm gonna be obviously making sure that he's eating enough, drinking enough, and also remaining active. That's the most important thing post-surgery in guinea pigs, making sure they are eating, drinking, and also having a bowel movement that is top tier. That is the most important. So always make sure to keep a close eye on them. But that is pretty much it in regards to like medications and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually the next day since Winston's neuter, and I kind of just wanted to go ahead and feed him some critical care with you guys. So Winston, for the most part, is doing really awesome. As you guys saw in those last clips, I ended up actually setting up my pet camera inside of his cage so I could monitor him throughout the night. And I did every so often for a couple hours. And in that time, he was eating. He ate practically all of his veggies, most of his pellets, like there was the smallest amount left, and a bit of hay, which is really good. When it comes to obviously any surgery, eating is the most important part afterwards. So it's really nice to see that he has an appetite of his own. I don't have to obviously force feed him like consistently, but we are going to be doing that right now. Just because he's not eating as much as I would like, he should be constantly munching on hay, which is not really happening, but this is exactly how it was for Vision, so I'm kind of, you know, not surprised. I'm used to it. So we're basically going to be doing the exact same protocol as how I did with Vision, how I took care of him post-neuter. So let me go ahead and grab him. For the most part, he's just been kind of laying low inside of his house, not really doing much, but you know, when it comes to a surgery like this and the incision, it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's also probably very weird for him. He doesn't feel like himself. So it does usually take a couple days for them to adjust to their surroundings and get back to their normal self. So we're doing, you know, what we can to kind of make that a little bit easier for him. I did actually go ahead and give him his dose of meloxicam this morning. He didn't need any last night because he actually received it when he was getting his neuter. I have a little bit of critical care. This is the recovery food by Shearwood inside of this mug, and then I have this syringe that the vet gave me. I do have to add a little bit more water to it because it gets really dry super fast. But this is about 3/4 of a packet, so I should get about like 3 vials of this. He's doing pretty well with it. He's not eating up everything. He's kind of spitting out a little bit, but exactly the same how Vision was with it. So again, not surprised. And this is the more complicated part. It's really important that you make sure that you're gentle with a post-neuter guinea pig because there are obviously exposed incisions. So you want to make sure that you're not, you know, touching those or even risk having him rip them and anything. So be super, super cautious when picking up your pig, you know, post-neuter. I will say he's obviously a lot calmer, but that is a result of him, you know, obviously having had this surgery. So I'm sure in the next couple days, once he's more healed up, he'll be back to his normal crazy self. I'm gonna scoot you guys down a little bit so you can see how this typically goes. Winston is obviously a crazy pig, so it tends to be a little harder to go ahead and feed him his critical care. I'm just gonna get this paper towel ready. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just get this, try and locate his mouth as best I possibly can. Do you want some food, Bubba? And I'll notice sometimes it's a lot easier to go ahead and feed them some if you feed the syringe off to the side of their mouth. Okay, so this is not working out. He's too squirmy. I have this one method that I'm gonna do instead, which has worked out really, really well for me. But what I'll do is I'll just lay him on my chest to make sure he's facing me. And I can kind of see his mouth just a tad bit easier. There we go. And when it comes to syringe feeding your pig, don't be afraid to apply some pressure on their body just because they are gonna be a little bit squirmy. Obviously not too hard because you don't want to hurt them, but don't be afraid to really make sure that you have a good grip on them to make sure it gets in there. Good boy. Yummy. So I just finished up giving him his other syringes of critical care, and I do notice immediately after I do feed him, he's a little bit more perked up and seems a little bit more active. He was just like jumping on top of his house, which is really good to see. So food definitely helps out in really helping your guinea pig to recover. So again, making sure that they're taking in enough food is really, really important. I do have to put that ramp back up there if you're confused, but he's enjoying it. These are actually all the veggies left over from last night. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and take them out because they're obviously spoiled now. But little man is doing super well. As you guys can tell, it's really nice to see him walking around, exploring, and getting back to his old self slowly but surely. You can see he's also drinking some water, which is really good. I will say, for the looks of it, he seems to be recovering a lot faster than what Vision was. Vision took his time recovering. He really, really did. When he was going through his recovery, he just was not eating at all, had no interest in anything, but in less than 24 hours, Winston is doing so much better than Vision. So I'm feeling really good about him having a smooth recovery and eventually being bonded with my girls. That's what I'm really, really excited for, and I'm sure you guys are too with that bonding video. I know that there's probably going to be a lot of questions in regards to pricing and all that kind of stuff, or even how to go about finding a vet to go ahead and neuter your guinea pig. So I kind of wanted to sit down with you guys and discuss that. So Winston's neuter actually ended up costing me $395, so about $400 with tax, and that's actually pretty good. That's pretty standard amongst all vets that I have ever seen. There is obviously cases where, you know, people can pay like $50 to $100 for their neuters, but for my particular vet clinic, they do run a little bit high, but they take amazing care of my animals, so I do not mind spending the extra little bit of money if that means that my pigs are going to, you know, obviously have, in this case, a very successful surgery, but also like how my vet discovered him having a URI when he went under. Like, not every vet could detect that. So it's really important for me to go to a vet that's trustworthy. So if that means spending a little bit extra money, I don't mind at all. And again, it could be a lot to some people, but to me, it's a fair price for a successful surgery. She did end up actually going through the abdomen, which does run a lower risk of complications from the surgery. So, you know, that's a really great thing that she does. But in regards to finding a vet for a potential neuter for your own pigs, if you guys are watching this and interested in getting your males neutered, you got to do your research. It's really important that you go to one that specializes in exotic animals. People tend to forget that guinea pigs are exotic. So making sure you don't go to one that's kind of like a general practice is really, really good. Guinea pigs are so unique. So having a vet that knows them specifically will help your life out and their life out so much more. So many things that come along with owning guinea pigs, especially when it comes to illnesses. So having someone who's really knowledgeable about those illnesses really helps out in making sure that you're detecting everything that you possibly can if there's something going wrong. My vet is absolutely amazing. She really just truly gets guinea pigs and understands them. So I know that when I bring them there, they're in good hands. That makes me feel way at ease. I would not suggest going to a cheaper vet just for the purpose of paying less. All vets are different. The care you'll receive at one is going to be totally different at another. So making sure you're doing your research and obviously, you know, calling them, asking questions, seeing what their protocol is, and getting a feel for how their vet runs and the people that are actually working there. Through doing these types of videos, I really just want to make you guys aware about like how many things or steps are involved with owning these animals, because you really can't make it easier on yourself. Even if you were to only have 2 guinea pigs, like, there's still so much involved with those 2 guinea pigs. Now when you add 17 guinea pigs into the picture, you know, you really got your workload on top of you. So this is definitely not for everyone, for sure. I do get a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, you know, one day I want to have as many guinea pigs as you, like, you inspire me, like, it seems like so much fun what you do, what you have, and I just really want to not paint a picture that this is an easy lifestyle, because it truly is a lifestyle. Day in and day out, there is always something to do for the piggies. I can't go on vacations. I have to constantly be with them and monitor them. If there's ever sicknesses going on or neuters and recovery going on, I have to be present with them 24/7. Like that's just the reality of it all. Really take into account like your future. Like if you are someone who's currently in school, you know, think down the line, like, are you going off to college? Are you moving to another state? Like, what is your future plans? Because guinea pigs are so abandoned and easily just forgotten about, and they're not throwaway animals. They are the most special, unique, and amazing animals ever, and they should be treated as that. To think that anyone will just pick up their life, not involving them, it just breaks my heart. So really think about like what is the future for you, because these animals can live for years and years and years. So it's really important to make sure that they're going to be along with you during the times of your life changing. You know, I had my first guinea pigs when I was living in New York, in Brooklyn, and you know, I had the plans of being like, you know what, I'm gonna take these guinea pigs to my next location in Jersey, and I didn't think for a second that I wouldn't. Like, they were going to be with me till the time that they were with me. So yeah, I just really want to get that across, because there's just so many cases that I see of guinea pigs being neglected and in not good situations. And when you truly put these pigs in really great homes and in great situations, you're going to fall in love with them. I can promise you that. But again, keep in mind, like, there's so much stuff that comes along with it, with illnesses and treatments and cage requirements and enrichment and food and cage cleanings. Like, there's a lot. So just prepare yourself, do your research. But again, that's the whole point of this channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. This is kind of like the whole process. There's really not going to be much more to it. This is pretty much what it is in regards to neuter. The first couple days are the most important. Obviously, again, making sure that your guinea pig is eating and drinking and pooping as normal. He's not pooping as much as I would like, but he's definitely having more bowel movements than he was before, even actually a couple hours ago. So that's really nice to see. But seeing him eating his food and drinking water, that is a great sign. So I think we're going to have a successful recovery for Winston. There's going to be so many changes, you know, with this whole thing happening, with him actually being bonded with my girls. Hopefully it works out, I really do. And if it does, we're going to have some cage upgrades to the pig room as well. We're going to be bonding Ollie and Billy too. So yeah, tons of stuff are coming up and I'm super excited.